Hi everyone, I'm going to react to Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, episode 20, I Am the Edge. For some reason, I'm thinking it has to do with Kenpachi because last episode, well, at the end of last episode, the after credit or whatever, there was this stone reader that started attacking what's her name? The lieutenant to, after the episode was done last time, I remember the captain's name, her captain's name, and now I'm forgetting. She was there trying to heal the two captains that were facing James, and then you have Kenpachi's lieutenant as well. I'm forgetting her name too. That was there bringing her linens, I think, or whatever, and then the Stone Ritter attacked, and then they mentioned the fact that Kenpachi hasn't been back yet. Back from where? I don't know. So the fact that the Stone Ritter was there to attack them, and then you have Kenpachi's lieutenant there, and it's like they talked about Kenpachi, so I can only assume that Kenpachi is coming, so I'm excited for that. But then last episode as well, Yuruki unleashed her Bankai, and she was all like frozen over, and then Byakuya came in and just held her hand as she was like bringing her body back to normal temperature and all of that, and then Byakuya complimented her for such a splendid Bankai, but a very difficult Bankai, very hard to control and all of that. So it's like I love me Byakuya and Rukia. So that's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. And if you want to see my reaction to, if you want to see my full lengths, I thought I was done. If you want to see my full lengths, all the full lengths, early access and everything, it's going to be on Patreon at patreon.com/feeling. And now let's start this episode. And here we go. Standing in the Hall of Fame. I was just sitting here just enjoying the fight again and everything, and then I was looking at the after credit, and then I see the brain like come out of the body, and then him saying that this body was a product of his imagination and everything, and then I'm here like, okay. How does a brain I don't know how it works, man. He's a Quincy, right? And this body that's disintegrating is not a real body. So where was the brain? I don't know. Let me just not think about it because it's weird. And the fact that, okay, let's go through the fact. Well, let's start from the beginning. The last episode ended with the first person. What was it called? Called himself Lee, and he's the letter V, and that he can basically vanish from your mind, from your senses and all of that. But Yachiru. Let me make sure. Okay, Yachiru. But each time Yachiru felt a tingle, and she would like attack whenever the guy would show up a little bit or whatever. And then she was like, I was told to always trust my tingles. Basically from Kenpachi, right? And that usually Kenpachi said, but that when he feels stuff like that, then he wants to kill the person. But since he's not here right now, then he's not gonna mind her killing this person. And then she brought out her Zanpakuto, and then she sliced the dude. The dude jumped back or whatever, but the slice still went through. And then she said that her Zanpakuto was like a copycat, that there's a copy behind, that there's a copy in the front and in the back, and that even if you think you know the distance, you're still gonna get it wrong. I'm trying to see, like, I don't know if I get it. I don't think I get it exactly how it works, but okay. And then there were these two things that also showed up, and then they were dancing. I'm like, okay. And then you had, I think her name is Kotetsu, because I can only assume that's her name, because when Yachiru was falling, no, after Kenpachi saved Yachiru, he told her that Kotetsu, he can feel Kotetsu's reishi, whatever, and that she should still be there. She should go and get healed. So I'm assuming that's her name, Kotetsu. So Kotetsu was like, her Zanpakuto was unusual because she's never seen anything like that before. And then V was just like Lee. V. This one too is called V. Wait. The vanishing person was like making it seem like he was gonna be able to defeat them, but then the real V showed up, and he was sitting on the bed next to the two captains, and he's the one that created the first V, and he just like, I can't imagine seeing a future for you or whatever. And so they got, since everything he imagines becomes reality. So the first V disappeared, died, and Yachiru went on the attack immediately, but then he stopped her and then twisted her arms and bones and stuff. And it's like, okay, imagine if your bones were cookies and all of that. So it's like, he imagined her bones being cookies, so it's like she's now off. Her bone is like so easy to break and all of that. Like she was like about to what's the term? She was about to use her other hand to, I don't know, get up or something, but then that hand also started twisting because her bones basically were brittle. So it's like, ugh. And then you have Kotetsu there just like telling him to get away from the captains, and then he's like, oh, these captains, I already killed them. And I'm like, huh? But then after Kenpachi came, and then he rose he created a platform for them, the captains were falling, and then she went after them to get them. So I'm like, are they still alive? Did he imagine killing them? And now that he's dead, his imagination is not going to work anymore, and they're going to come back alive. Like, I don't know. Or did he actually kill them? Are they actually dead? If they're actually dead, then why did she like go after their bodies like that? You know? I don't know. I guess we'll see. What was that before I jumped? I said that. Yeah, he said he killed them. And then Yachiru was basically all like worried that she was gonna die or something. And then that's when Kenpachi showed up, and he was like, he felt Yachiru's why do I keep thinking about it like curse energy? Probably because I just saw Jujutsu Kaisen. What's the term? Spiritual pressure. Oh my goodness. Her spiritual pressure. He felt her spiritual pressure being wobbly, and so that's why he came. And then he found V there, and what's his name again? Gremmy. He found Gremmy there, and yeah, trying to see how the fight went. When he noticed, when Grammy noticed who Kenpachi was, that's when he created this platform for him, right? And then Kenpachi went on the attack. He tried to slice him, but then he's like, he didn't touch him, he didn't cut him or anything. And he's like, I just imagine my body being stronger than steel. And then Kenpachi is like, if I need to cut something that's stronger than steel, then you should have told me before. And then he just like cut through him. But then the guy just like imagined that his cut was already healed, and then he was healed. Okay. And then he also imagined this sort of like a lava fire thingy coming onto Kenpachi. Kenpachi sliced through it, but then Yachiru was there. He's like, why are you still there? Like, move. And that's when Gremmy told him that, he can't really move right now, because if he does any kind of effort, so she's stuck there. And then Kenpachi jumped at Gremmy, but then he found himself in this water cube thing, and the earth opened. Yachiru was falling, and then he went after Yachiru and like got Yachiru. This guy was thought that Kenpachi was gonna be crushed by the water and pressure and the rocks, and I'm like, you don't know Kenpachi, man. And he just came back out with Yachiru. Yachiru was all like not brittle anymore, and probably because Gremmy did not keep his imagination on her, so she was back to normal. And then Kenpachi told her to get healed, so she left, and it was just Kenpachi and Gremmy there. And he cut Gremmy at one point, like severely, like cut him twice. And then the guy was like, I can't, wait, am I gonna lose to this guy? And then Kenpachi is like, why are you acting like that? You just imagine that you're gonna die, and that just basically cleared everything in this guy's mind. And he's like, and he's not gonna die. His body's basically indestructible, whatever. So he did that, and then he created a double of himself, and then he's like created this meteor that's coming toward the earth, and he's like, you're not gonna be able to cut through this meteor, but the meteor is coming. Kenpachi is like, what is that? That's a meteor, and you're not gonna be able to cut through it. Ooh, I've never cut a meteor before. You guys know how Kenpachi loves the challenge, man. You put something in front of him that you think he's never gonna be able to defeat, he's never gonna be able to cut, he's gonna wanna do it. And then he just went up there, and then he just called out his Zanpakuto's name, which is Nozarashi. Previously he didn't care about how his Zanpakuto was called. He was just fighting with it in its normal form and whatever. So he's like, Nozarashi. I'm like, whoa, so that's his name. And then he said, drink Nozarashi. And then he slashed through the meteor, which was super cool. And when he did that, Gremmy was so like surprised, and he told him that there's nothing that he can cut through. Okay, if there's nothing you can cut through, then I'm just gonna create this special thing, and you just gonna this formless thing that you cannot cut, and then you're gonna die that way. But Kenpachi's like, no. He like got through it, and then he cut through the thing because he had made imagine many versions of him, and that's how they trapped him in the space thing. And he just like cut through them, and then they were like, there was this ball or whatever in the stomach or upper body something, and then they enveloped him, and then they exploded. I'm like, You gotta do better, man. If you wanna kill Kenpachi, you gotta do better. And Kenpachi was like still okay, and the guy was like the main form, I guess, was like down there looking up. He's like, this guy is the monster. So the only way that I can defeat you is by becoming a monster myself, someone stronger than you. And then he went after going after Kenpachi, and he just his fingers just started breaking. Like his body was breaking and everything. And Kenpachi was like, you imagine me as a monster, right? And that's what killed you. But in reality, what killed him was that Kenpachi is the only one that can. His body, the way his body is, that's the like you gotta have his body if you want to be able to have control the amount of strength and like his powers and everything. You gotta have his body, and this dude's body is like this frail little thing. It cannot hold that amount of power, so his body just started breaking under the pressure of his spiritual power, his strength, empathy strength, and all of that. That's what killed Gremmy. So yeah, and then the brain was down there, and I'm like, okay, are you gonna stomp on the brain, like break the thing? Nah. I know the body disappeared and everything, but I guess that must mean that the brain is also dead, right? I mean, if the brain was still alive, it would have kept the imagination would have kept going. Okay, so I guess he doesn't need to do anything to the brain. But then during the fight, there was this other dude that was there looking at them. It was the same dude that stopped, I believe, that stopped Jugo and Basby from fighting at one point when it was announced that Uri was going to be the successor of Yohabaha. So that particular guy was there looking at them fighting. So I'm assuming he's going to be Kenpachi's next opponent. Maybe. I don't know. But then we still have not seen Kenpachi's Bankai, okay? This is just his Shikai. We have not seen his Bankai yet. And his Shikai was just sort of this giant sword and whatnot that cut through a meteor. So I cannot imagine what his Bankai is gonna look like. So excited to see that. I'm so excited. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, you can do so by checking out my Patreon, patreon.com/filmini, and you can also see the full length for this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Yeah, and the world's gonna know your name. Yeah, and you'll be on the wall for the whole of